Tonight on DC News Now, the remains of all the victims of the mid-air collision now recovered. The new information on how the crash may have happened as more pieces of the wreckage are pulled from the Potomac.
Our stretch of quiet weather is coming to an end with an icy mess starting Wednesday night. We'll let you know what impacts we could see by Thursday morning.
DC Council expelling one of its own members. What happens now to fill Trayon White's seat?
Oh, definitely, yes. Metro's packed, right? Standing room only.
The commute into DC only getting busier. The record numbers Metro says it's seeing. And celebrating Black History Month, we take you inside DC's new Go-Go Museum. We begin with breaking news tonight out of the district. A teenager killed, another injured in a double shooting in Southeast. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan. Susan Tran has the night off. The shooting happened just before 7 tonight between two apartment complexes on 6th Street. The injured teen, we're told, is expected to be okay. No arrests have been made at this hour. And tonight, the remains of all 67 victims of the aircraft collision near DCA have now been recovered. All but one have been positively identified. It is a major step towards closure for countless friends and families. But closure can also come in the form of answers. And finding those answers is still a work in progress. DC News Now's Max Marcilla joining us live tonight from Reagan National Airport. And Max, today's certainly marking a milestone.
Well, Chris, you mentioned how significant of a day this was for dozens of families who are still grieving less than a week after the crash. But we also know that investigators are still hard at work out on the Potomac. And tonight we got to look at what they've been up to. New video from the NTSB showing the work of investigators on Friday as they work to find critical pieces of evidence in the chilly Potomac River. This video also from the NTSB, the view from a drone of what they're looking through. This is what it looked like on the water a day after the crash. The military Black Hawk helicopter near the surface of the river, the American Airlines plane broken into pieces.
It's tragic and everything imaginable that you can think of, right? That is what they're dealing with day in and day out.
It's heartbreaking but necessary work for first responders. As the NTSB works to figure out how this happened, new information Tuesday. The NTSB says data showed the Black Hawk was at 300 feet on the air traffic control display at the time of the crash, though that's rounded to the nearest 100 feet. To verify that, investigators need the helicopter, which they expect will be recovered later this week. They're also working to transcribe the cockpit voice recorders from both aircraft. From a distance, we're seeing crews hauling large pieces of the plane out of the water, including wings, the fuselage, and significant portions of the cabin and cockpit. As the work on the water continues, the grief compiles off of it. We're seeing memorials in Southwest Washington for skaters and coaches who died as we hear and see messages of love and loss across the country. And there is a scheduled vigil tomorrow at 5:30 in the evening over at Rivergate City Park in Alexandria. Reporting live at Reagan National Airport, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
All right, Max, a lot of new information there. Thank you, Max, for coverage of the mid-air collision. Head to our website, dcnewsnow.com. You'll find more about the victims and also the latest on the investigation when we're not on air. All right, let's get a first check on the forecast. Meteorologist David Matson in for Janessa tonight. And boy, what a start to February weather-wise. I mean, it's like a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking earlier, 60s today.
Right.
It was amazing out there,
It
right?
felt nice, right?
Yeah, but now, well, we're back to talking about some winter weather as we head into Wednesday. So getting colder again, folks. That's pretty much the trend as we head later into the night here. We're going to see those temperatures. It's still 44 in D.C., but we're going to be getting into the 30s in the district here soon enough. Most of the rest of the DMV already down into those 30s, and these numbers will continue to fall as we head on toward your Wednesday morning. Now, the good news is that's all we'll have to contend with to start out your day tomorrow. It will be chilly. Clouds will be back in the mix as well as the next storm system starts to make its approach, but there are no concerns for any impactful weather outside of those clouds for your morning commute tomorrow and throughout the first half of the day. But it's Wednesday night going into the day on Thursday. That's when we're due for this next winter storm that is mostly going to pack a punch in terms of ice. Yeah, we're not expecting snowfall here, folks. We're talking sleet, freezing rain that is going to make things extremely icy and difficult out there late Wednesday night, and by Thursday morning's commute, that's when we're going to run into plenty of headaches. So we'll time everything out, let you know the main impacts we could see from this storm as it arrives, coming up here in your full forecast in just a bit.
Okay, Damon, we'll see you then. With the storm on the way, Virginia State Police urging all drivers to be extra careful. They ask you to remember, turn on your headlights, slow down, leave extra room between you and the car in front of you, and don't leave home without a window scraper, blanket, water, and a flashlight. All new tonight in the district, Trayon White now out of a job in an unprecedented move. The council voting unanimously to expel the Ward 8 leader who is accused of accepting bribes. An ad hoc committee previously investigated White and found substantial evidence he broke city code. He's been indicted on a federal bribery charge and is accused of accepting cash in exchange for his influence on city contracts. White is allowed to run in the upcoming special election for his seat. We'll have much more on that and what his supporters are saying tonight. It's coming up in our next half hour. And today, D.C. Council also unanimously passing a resolution that officially transferred the RFK Stadium site to the district. Now, whether a new stadium will be built there and who would pay for it, that still remains up in the air. All right, staying in the district, many federal workers are dealing with a lot of uncertainty, from an offer to resign to a return to work order. We wanted to know just how it's impacting commuters. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg live here in studio, and Daniel, Metro saying they're seeing record numbers right now.
Yeah, Chris, they are. We're seeing a lot of people during rush hour, not just on the roads, but taking public transportation because they have to be in the office more often. We asked federal workers how it's impacting them. Traffic on the railways and on the roadways has picked up in the last 2 weeks.
I have noticed it. Originally it was just on Wednesdays because that's usually a day when everybody is in the office, but now it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Not so much as Friday, although I'll be returning to the office on Friday next week.
That's largely because of President Trump's return to work executive order. On Monday, the Office of Personnel Management sent a memo to department and agency heads saying union contracts that go against management's wishes for telework are unlawful and cannot be enforced. The American Federation of Government Employees, the largest federal workforce union, says it plans to challenge that.
I understand the people who are bothered and concerned about it, like who have to change their lives, add money to their commute, stuff like that. I get that part. It doesn't affect me quite as much as it does others.
The order is benefiting Metro, which says it's seeing record ridership numbers.
Oh, definitely, yes. Metro's packed, right? Standing room only.
Monday's 8 to 9 a.m. hour had 92,600 trips, the highest Monday rush since 2020.
Metro is starting to build up a little bit, but it's part of the job. It's part of life, so I'll keep doing it.
On the other hand, if federal workers want to accept the Trump administration's deferred resignation offer, they have to do so by Thursday.
I have several friends that are in other agencies who aren't going to take it. In this state that we're in, most people want to keep their jobs rather than get rid of them.
At least 20,000 workers have reportedly accepted the offer, though several unions filed a lawsuit today trying to stop it, calling it misleading, coercive, and unlawful. In the studio, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. Daniel, thanks. Meanwhile, it's been now nearly a year since the collapse of Baltimore's Key Bridge. We're now seeing what the new bridge will look like. Today, Maryland Governor Wes Moore unveiling a new design concept. These are the renderings you're looking at. It features two towers with cables supporting the bridge deck. The bridge will be 45 feet taller and have more protection if a ship was to hit it. The governor saying it's really an incredible step forward.
Maryland is the bridge between America and the rest of the world. This will be the place that the country will remember not just what resilience looks like, but what economic growth looks like.
The new bridge is expected to be completed in 2028. The federal government has agreed to cover the project, which has a price tag of about $1.7 billion. Well, a new mural celebrating Black History Month is now up at the Lincoln Park Community Center in Rockville, Maryland. That mural shows neighbors playing, dancing, and moving together. The county says Lincoln Park was one of the first real estate developments for Black families in Maryland. That mural was created by a DC-based artist along with help from children in the community. Looks pretty, doesn't it? All right, today, WMATA honoring civil rights icon Rosa Parks on what would have been her 112th birthday. Metro placing these signs on all trains and buses, symbolically reserving a seat for Parks. Parks, of course, refused to give up her seat on a city bus in Montgomery, Alabama back in 1955. Her subsequent arrest launched a bus boycott, critical moment in the fight for civil rights.